Weren't you supposed to do an unboxing?
Yes, that's what I'm realizing halfway through. So my camera came in and I'm halfway unboxed. So ignore that. That was a little bit crap. Ellie, quit chewing on the box. Go away. I got the Canon M50 used, so we're gonna see how it looks. It's actually lighter than I thought it would be. Obviously the lens not on it yet, but this is what it looks like. Focus. And this flips out and around, and also around here I can shut it. Let me put the lens on. One out. The person that I bought it from packaged it really well, which is a good thing. And I believe this is the same lens that I have on my M200 lens. It'll focus because it's lens caps. So, oh my god. Okay, let's put it on. I'm speaking a bit quiet because the windows are open and there's probably some people outside. This is what it looks like, completely, you know, put together. But okay, let's see if it's charged. Is the battery in it? No. Here, and the battery's in there. They did package it really, really well, so I'm really happy about that. I meant to like film me picking it up outside the door and everything, but then like the FedEx truck came and they didn't even knock on my door, which is really weird. Usually they knock on my door. Angle change, sorry. I got tired of bending down, but usually they come and knock on my door and let me know, you know, it's here. Oh god, my hair. But they didn't, and I barely saw the truck pull in, so I'm glad that I was checking. I've been waiting like a week for this to come in. It was supposed to come in on Thursday, and then it was supposed to come in on Friday, and then the tracking got all weird and said it was in my state, and then it said it was in the state next to me, and then it said it was like a town over, and it was really weird. But battery, where's the power button? Oh, that's weird. It looks so good, dude. Whoa, hold on. This is what it looks like. It's turned on. Battery's at like half, but and then when you get close to that, it turns off so you can take photos. I don't know if you even saw that, but and not touch the screen. Whoa. I probably look like a dweeb. So I should probably go into a little detail on why I got this camera and why I didn't just like, I got my M200 like a little over a year ago, so I should probably explain why I'm getting a new camera. For that's not even that much of a step up. It's a little bit of a step up, but not too far of a step up. So I'm getting a little bit more into photography, Jesus, and there's people outside, but that's okay. And the M200 is okay with photography. It's kind of like, I guess like a beginner kind of thing, kind of camera. And it's good for like vlogging and recording, obviously. That's why I got it. But now I'm getting more into photography, and I wanted something that's kind of better on the photography side and looks a little bit more professional, I guess. Not that the M200 can't be used like professionally or whatever, but it's just not the greatest. I wanted something with a little bit more options, which this can give me. And I kind of wanted to up my YouTube stuff also. Chester, I'm recording. With me wanting to take my YouTube more seriously and my photography more seriously, I needed a better kind of like in-between camera of the two. The M200 is perfectly fine for when you're first starting out. If you want to balance the two, there's someone, hold on. Anyway, if you want to balance the two, the M200 is like perfect for just starting out. But I I was having trouble with the M200 with my photography. Mostly this screen was really hard, and getting the right kind of shot. With the M50, I am talking like I know everything, and I don't. So just take everything I say with a grain of salt. But the M200, the screen flips up, so it's up here, right? The M50, the screen flips out. So when I'm taking photos, I will be able to see it over here, or I can flip it back on the screen. But my biggest problem with the M200 was when I went to take pictures like this from the ground, right? Can't really show you because like there's shit all over the ground. But when I took stuff from the ground, I could not see the screen because it was either, you know, angled down like this and I couldn't see it, or angled up and I obviously couldn't see it that way. But with this one, I can angle it down and I can still see it while I'm angled down, which is a big plus. That, and it still has the flip around for when I'm vlogging. Don't know if I'm quite there with vlogging with this one in public because it's huge. Not huge, it's barely bigger than the M200, but it's quite a bit of a difference, especially with this viewfinder on top and the flash. It makes it a little bigger, but it's not too big. This is just my first impressions. I'm gonna do like a couple months or a year down the road, I'll do like a full review, kind of like I did my M200. It'll be better than my M200 though, because my M200 review was awful. I obviously have to mess around with this camera a bit and see how to work everything, because I obviously don't know how to work everything. But man, it's fine. But I obviously don't know how to work this camera completely yet, so again, take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. Both cats are trying to get in the window now. They're gonna start crying. Anyway, bless you. These are my first impressions. I really like it. It's a lot smaller than I thought it would be, a lot lighter than I thought it would be compared to my M200, because I always see people upgrading from like Chester, upgrading from the G7X to the M50, and they're always like, it's so much heavier and it's like so much worse on their arm. But I think since I had the M200, which is closer to the weight, it's not going to be that much of a difference. It is just slightly heavier, which I'll have to get used to, but it's not so much heavier that it's a difference. I could weigh them, but I don't really care that much. So a few things that I'm noticing right away that I like better than the M200, again, this is just my first impressions, is the grip. As you can see, it's got the handhold. My M200, as it is now, does have a handhold, but it doesn't come with one. I had to buy one for almost $20 that just sticks on, which was worth it. You know, it really helped since I got really bad wrists, and like holding on to things that don't have a proper grip really hurts my wrist. So I do like the fact that this comes with one and I don't have to buy one and spend money on it. But like I said, my M200 did not come with one, sorry, and I had to put one on, and that really helped it. So if you are looking into the M200, I would definitely recommend getting the stick-on one. But if you want to pay just a couple more bucks for something a little bit more and it has that, the M50, I don't know where I'm going with this. The M50 has the built-in thing, so I don't have to pay 20 bucks extra for a stick-on one that might come on in extreme heat. Might come off in extreme heat. Other things that I obviously already knew about this camera that I really like right off the bat is the viewfinder. In my M200 review, I called the screen the viewfinder because that's all I've ever heard anyone else call it, and I wasn't like big into cameras, you know, so I didn't know all the lingo and the talk or whatever. But the screen is not a viewfinder like all the fucking YouTubers are saying. They've all been lying to me. This is a viewfinder. This little thing right on top that you look through to see the actual like video or photo that you're going to be taking. This is just a flip out screen, obviously, but I thought it was called the viewfinder. So maybe I'm just crazy, but I feel like that's a common misconception with a lot of people. Another thing I like is the flash. Obviously on the M200 it has a flash, it has a pop-up flash, but it's so like violent when it pops up you had to like pull back this like, I don't know, this like button thingy, and then it like flips up. If you've seen reviews on the M200, you know what I'm talking about. It like violently flips up, but this one you just kind of, there's a little tab on the side, and or I mean on both sides, and you can just kind of flip it up by yourself, and it flips up like that, and it's not too big. So that's a plus. But the only downside to that is the M200 had it to where you could like pull back the flash and it could like bounce the light off of different things. So that's something that I will have to test out. Obviously, I'm not used to just a standard flash. It's raining outside and it just got harder. So I'm so sorry if you can hear that. Another thing right off the bat that I absolutely love is this camera has a mic jack. If it'll, yeah, right here. Right there, there's a little mic jack, and you can mount it right on the top. The M200, I've heard a few different things. Obviously, everyone says the M200, my battery's gonna die. Everyone says the M200 can't have an external mic, but I've heard from a few like smaller sources that you can as long as you get an adapter. I've never tried it, and I've had people tell me that you can do that, but the camera's not gonna recognize it, so I don't know. I really have no idea. But if you have the M200 and you do have an external mic, let me know if it works. The M200 does not have a like mount for it on the camera like the M50 does, which is a big plus. The M200, if you buy the content creator kit like I did, it comes with an attachment for the tripod that it comes with that you can attach like lights or a microphone onto, but it doesn't actually come with a microphone or the adapter or whatever, so I'm not sure if it actually works. But yeah, big plus that it has a microphone jack. I might eventually get a microphone, but I'm not quite sure yet. Another thing that I like right off the bat, even though I don't really know what it's gonna do, is it has a lot more options on the dial. So with the M200, it only has an auto mode, a photo mode, and a video mode. This one seems to have multiple different modes. It obviously still has the auto mode and the video mode, and it has a manual mode. But the rest of them, I don't know what they do yet. I have to explore the camera, and of course I'm going to give you guys, like I said, an in-depth review later on once I find out the ins and outs of this camera. But I do like that it has more options for Ellie? For video and photography. She's back there. She jumped over me. Again, if you have the M200, it works just fine, but it doesn't have that many options, at least, you know, button-wise. You can go into the settings and mess with it all you want, but this has, you know, a lot more buttons to mess with. I was gonna say another thing that I'm not sure if I like or dislike yet, but I think it's kind of interesting, you know, a good difference, I guess. I don't know. It's different enough for me to mention it, is the power buttons are completely different. On the M200, it's a button, like an actual button on the dial. Bless you. She's behind the couch. But on the M50, if you can see right up here, it's a switch. Where'd it go? Yeah, right here it's a switch. So I can flip it on, and it comes on, and then flip it off, and it goes off. It's not a button anymore. It's a switch, which is a interesting thing. I don't know if a lot of cameras have that. Never seen that, because I've only had one camera. Well, I've had my mom's cameras, but they all had buttons too. They didn't have a switch. So we'll have to see if I like that or not. I don't know. This is just like a quick like unboxing kind of thing, I guess. My first thoughts. I haven't actually used the camera yet. That might be in this video. It depends on if I get to it. But yeah, if you know anything about the M50 that I haven't mentioned yet, let me know in the comments. I'm gonna mess around with this. Well, I guess I should give you my thoughts on my first impressions on getting one used. So I got it used off of a site called Mercari. That's where my friend also got their M200. Kind of like Facebook Marketplace, kind of like eBay, I guess, if they kind of like squished and had a baby. A few that I was looking at, but this one kind of stood out to me. I don't know what about it stood out to me. I guess it just kind of looked the best condition, which, I mean, you can go off of that if you want, but always ask more questions with that stuff. Same thing with Facebook Marketplace. So I messaged 2 different people. I messaged one person and asked about more photos for the camera because I thought theirs had some scratches along the viewfinder / flash kind of area, and they didn't get back to me for like another day. I probably would have ended up buying that one if they sent me the photos and it ended up, you know, not having scratches, because it looked in good condition too. It just looked a little like dirty, like they hadn't cleaned it before posting the pictures, which was another turn off from that post. And then I found this one and I was like, okay, that looks interesting. And I think in the description it said that they were just looking to get rid of it because they didn't use it anymore, which is, you know, everyone kind of says that with things that they're selling online. This battery's about to die too. It's fine. But I figured I'd message them anyway because it looked really clean and it didn't look like it had anything wrong with it. And it came with the battery and the charger and the manual, which was really important to me because I have no idea about this camera. I've watched videos, but I haven't actually like gone into one and like looked at it. So having the manual is a big plus. So I messaged this person and they got back to me within within an hour, maybe 30 minutes, and they were so nice about it. They were a college student, a film student, I believe, and they got this camera as a beginner, which, you know, me too. I got this camera as a beginner in my stuff, and they were looking to sell this camera to save up for a new camera, which is kind of what I was doing. I was looking for a new camera to upgrade because they were looking to upgrade. I feel like I should mention that. They were looking to upgrade from this to something else, and I was looking to upgrade from this to this. So it was kind of nice, and they were so nice. They answered all my questions like so fast. And they even, like, when I shot them an offer, they were like, yep, that totally works, because they were understanding of like me wanting to upgrade, and we kind of had like similar stories. They were just all around super nice, and it was a great interaction. I just got really good vibes from it. But so far I'm not seeing anything wrong with this camera visually. The only thing I see is around the viewfinder, on one side it is a little worn, just on one corner, just barely. I don't even know if you'll be able to see that. Just a little bit, but that's fine. I mean, that's just from, you know, it being touched. Okay, so my battery's gonna die. I'm gonna go explore the camera a little bit, maybe take some photos with it, video with it, charge my batteries, obviously, and I'll get back to you with some more information. And if I don't, that means I ran out of time and I couldn't record anymore before having to post this video. I do want to mention, though, if this does end up being the end of the video, it's probably not, but if this does end up being the end of the video, I do want to say that this is not the end for my M200. I'm probably still going to use it for like public vlogging, maybe some small little photos here and there. It's smaller and more compact, just barely, but it still is smaller and more compact. It's less out in the open than the M50, so this will still be part of my channel, but I'm going to try to transition a lot over to this, and especially for my photography, this is definitely going to be 100% my photography camera and like 50% my YouTube camera. So if you see a little difference in quality, I don't know if there is going to be, just keep that in mind. But I'm going to go, my neighbor's going, my battery's going to die. Bye.